Hi guys, welcome back once again to my channel. My name is Chijane. If you don't know me, thank you for tuning to my channel. If this is not your first time, and if this is your first time, thank you for tuning to my channel. I know you're going to enjoy this channel. So today my video is I just want to talk about anything that comes up to my mind, because very various things are coming up to my mind, and for me and you to be encouraged, it needs to be spoken about. And that's the best way. One of the best way to heal is by speaking, by talking things out and pouring out vulnerability and everything. During this during I went through a hard time when I had my baby. I've been talking about my experiences and everything. So during that process, especially when I was in the hospital and my baby was in the incubator, I had my baby and everything, but it felt like a period of grief even till now, because for the fact of being separate, like from my husband, dealing a lot of things alone. People will say, oh yeah, with your family is there to help you. People are just so passive with one's feeling and so insensitive until they have to go through their own. Then they will be looking for who's going to sympathize with them. It's very, very wicked and unfair to be insensitive to people's feeling. It's very, or some people that would say, everybody's going through their own challenges. That's definitely true. Everybody has their own situations that they're going through. But you should not like use your story to overpower what another person is saying. What's going on in another person's life, or try to sound like your own is worse than the other one, even if your own is truly worse. If somebody is talking about how they feel and you both need to heal at the same time, you can speak it out with each other. But when somebody, I want to say this, when somebody truly feel hurt and they let you know about it, they told you that I feel bad about this thing, don't take that thing for granted. It's not good to take it for granted. When I was a young girl, I grew up in a family that, when I was younger, thinking about it, like putting myself in the space of many years ago, I felt very unheard. I felt I felt very bullied and everything. Then I was so calm. I would go according to the laws of my parents. I knew that certain things were not right. Certain things that were going on was not right. But because I did not have the right to protest, I did not have the right to speak up, I couldn't say how I truly felt. Sometimes I was able to speak my mind, but many times I noticed that if I say my mind, people are like, ooh, did she just say that? So I've been silenced for many years until I think I was in my last year in secondary school when I was also being bullied in my last year in secondary school, and that was when my life, like, I told myself that I'm not good, because before I would cry when people hurt me. I would do this. I would, even if I'm trying to explain myself, I'll start crying. Um then I more like allowed people step all over me and all of that. But that was when I decided that I was not going to allow people to bully me and all of that. Even my junior students were bullying me then in secondary school. So it was so bad that it felt like everybody had something negative against me, even in my own family. My grandmother was extremely strict with so many people, including myself, but I particularly saw that she was very, very unnecessarily strict with me. She was not like that with only me, but it was, for with me, it was really intense compared to the rest of my fellow grandchildren, like that has and all of that. So I will not be so detailed so that you will not go and make unnecessary research because of the nosy ones. So things were going on and all of that, and it got to, let me just try to skip things and get into the period of when I had my baby and stuff. That I was in the hospital, and then I had my baby, and then my baby had, after a few days, my baby had to be, before even the process of even giving birth was even difficult, because before I gave birth, I was complaining about certain things. I was not being heard. They were saying it was because it's my first experience, blah blah blah, until I finally had preeclampsia, swollen feet, unnecessary things that would have been avoided if I was listened to. Trying to calm down. And unnecessary thing that would have been avoided if I was listening to. And then that many people say that you should speak your mind, say your mind, speak how you feel and stuff. But sometimes some people like me will speak but will not be heard. I don't know if it is the society that blocked their mind or the devil that blocked the mind of the society, because many times we want to blame the devil. This same devil is in the same world that me I am into. So I just want you to know that whatever excuses you give to be wicked is not enough good excuse. There's not enough excuse for you to be mean to your fellow human being or insensitive towards how somebody feels, especially towards how you treated them. So, and then when you finish mistreating people, when you finish treating someone in that way and you get yours, you always expect some form of condolence or whatever. But in my own case right now, I don't really care about how people feel about me. I feel like at this point I'll feel like this is a way of life of human beings. Probably I've not gotten to meet better stop. I've not gotten to meet like the right people around me and all of that, even if it's family and etc. It's very stressful. Some people, I was speaking to a friend of mine some days ago, and some time ago or some days ago, and she was telling me about her experience or a traumatic experience in a bad relationship and everything. And she was like, she did not want to talk to anybody. She just wanted to stay alone. She just wanted to stay alone and everything. And then I was telling her my own about how I was like that, and I was expecting, like, I wanted a certain kind of understanding, but I was not getting. I got support. My family gave me the support that they could. My mother, especially my mother and my siblings, in the best way that they could. But when it got, because I got like a higher calling, that it was like a faith thing. So when it became like a faith related thing, everybody started withdrawing, like everybody started taking off their hand completely. It was bad before, and it even became worse during my time in the hospital. Even when I had my baby and I was going through all these things alone, I could have been helped by these people that were in this hospital. I went through heavy trauma, and they acted like they could not do anything about it. They acted like they were so helpless about it. Like when it became faith related and everything, the situation got so bad that sorry. This It was really difficult and unnecessarily difficult and everything. And even my family that could even try to afford things before, it became so difficult for them. So it was tough on every side of the story. Excuse me. It was tough on every side of the story. And when outsiders view it, they view it in a very myopic way and very insensitive way. And it was so bad, it was very bad. But like thinking about it now, that time when I was in the hospital and my baby was in the bay, like my baby was in the incubator, and she was being this thing. If you have gone through having a baby prematurely and stuff, you would understand it. And especially when the baby came early, and after the baby came early, there was still complications upon the early coming. So my baby, looking at my baby, seeing how she was inside the bay, all the children there, because I'm a very like emotional, over empathetic person. It was just making me so sad and depressed and everything. Then I would cry. They would tell me if I want I can cry. That's the kind of advice they were just giving me. If I want I can cry. Try to be strong, but I was not so strong. So what I noticed that when I acted too strong, it made me weak, and when I acted too weak, it made me weaker. When I cried too much, it made me weaker. When I acted too strong, it made me weak. What I really needed was somebody that understood and could help me out of this situation. That was why I kept on asking for help. Okay, I mentioned my friend before about what was going on and stuff, and she told me how she got help and everything. And she herself was like, she didn't want to talk about it and everything. But me, I wanted somebody to talk about it with. But almost everybody I spoke with did not give me understanding or like a listening ear. Or they just act like, most times the therapist will always be like, nothing else. It did not pass. It did not pass like on top of the water. Thinking about all these things, if I'm not trying to like say everybody's bad, but if I was to be in anybody's shoes, if this was not to be my story and it was to be another person's story, and I was from the outside viewing this person, I would want to try to take away the person's pain. I know everybody's not like that and all of that. I used to hear a lot of comments like, everybody's not going to be like you. We are human beings. I'm also a human being like you. And if I think I can do better in a situation, then you can do better. You don't have excuses. Many times people show up only when somebody dies. When somebody dies, then you see everybody. Hey, people that want to pity party. Everybody will start coming, bumping in. That's when they will start showing, contributing money. Only when somebody dies. Is that love? Is that in love? You people, tell yourself the truth. That's in our love. Only when bad thing happen, that's when everybody will show up. When it is close to the bad thing or stuff, you'll be acting like it's nothing until the person dies, until somebody dies. Then everybody's eye will open. That was what they were expecting, for somebody to die. I said my story, spoke about my story online, how I felt abandoned and everything. They just watch the arms and they just scroll up. You see so many views and people scrolling up and act like whatever. But you will be going through your things secretly. You cannot tell it, Abi. Because anyways, in your own turn, you never did anything sensitive anyways. So I don't think you should expect anything in return. But it will not still make me to be a mean person. All the insensitivity, all the unnecessary misunderstandings I've gotten from people will not change my personality. It's because of God, not because of me. Because left for me, I would change. I would be worse than you. I will even do worse than the devil that is the so-called devil or any bad person. But it's because of God. When you see the Bible will calm you down like this, you'll be like, "Oh, if I turn out to be like these people now, what do I gain? What am I going to gain? Nothing." And the same people will still continue being disobedient and be expecting God to answer them. That's the reason why I'm glad that God stood by me. Even, you see, when everybody backstabs you, everybody did you everything, the only person that will stand there because you are still holding on to him is God. Some people say they don't even hold on to God. They have to like ask questions like, why do I have to go through all of this mess just because of you, God? Who said that God does not want us asking questions? God wants us asking questions. You just don't have to be insultive about the questions, like the way Job's wife was telling him to curse God. When I was in the hospital, I was feeling like Job. There's some parts of my life that I'll feel like a certain person in the Bible, and the devil was using those things, those feelings, to even make me more depressed. The devil would frustrate me even when I read my Bible. When I read my Bible, it would bring up things that would make me to feel depressed. The devil was fighting me every single way. And I don't like to glorify the devil. I don't like to feel like I need to say how devil is so bad and everything. I don't blame the devil. I blame people for being the instrument of the devil, because you can also be an instrument of God, and anybody can be an instrument of the devil. I could be an instrument of the devil if I choose to. I've gone through so much. So if I become wicked today or tomorrow, it's not my fault. That is why you don't have the right to be wicked also, or insensitive to another person's feeling, and say all of us are going through different things. That's so, I'm like, God, these are the same people that you're praying for. The same people you are praying for to have eternal life. The same people you are praying for them to find God. The same people you are wishing the very best in your mind. They will be the same people that will tell you the worst things of your life. So left for human beings, even no matter how close they are, there will be a time in your life that you will be alone. Even if you have always felt alone, when God calls you particularly, you will be alone, no matter how you feel. And that's the time that you will know that you're strongest. That your strongest staff is God. Human beings will disappoint. Human beings would say things. Human beings will backstab you over and over again. You want to talk about Judas Iscariot? There are 1 billion thousands among your family members. Among your family. Joseph's brothers. We want to talk about Joseph's brothers. Who betrayed Joseph? It was his brothers. Aside the outsider, the Potiphar's wife thing. It's not easy to follow God. But I know that by the grace of God, all of these things will not be in vain in the end. So whenever you're going through hard times, and you don't even get that support you need. Be your own support, because as you are being your own support, God is like, this person values his or her life, and he knows what the meaning of the life that they're living. They value this life that I give to them. Because of this, and because they're holding on to me, I will protect them with everything that it costs. You don't want to know what I've gone through. You don't want to know. Even if I explain it, you can't even know, because I don't even see anybody understanding anything and at this point. But I just wanted to know that you are your biggest, you and God first of all, obviously, and you are your biggest fans. Your biggest support is yourself. It's not even what you get from others, because sometimes you might not even get what you're looking for. There's some people that are able to get something that they're looking for, some of it. Some people are not able to get it. And how do you do that and surviving in a world like this, in a selfish world like this? By being that strength that you're looking for. Speak those words that you expect from people to yourself. Tell yourself those things that you want to hear. Buy yourself those things that you expect if you have the money. If you don't have the money, manage the one that you have and do something nice for yourself. It's not easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. It was never easy for anybody. It was not even easy for Jesus Christ, that is God. In this world is a craziness, but we thank God so far. So that's the thing I'm here to say. Like, so when you're going through the hardest times of your life, be your own support. Aside God's support, because you need a physical support, be your own support. If people have sense, they would be able to back you up with their support, because that's their support is an extra. God's main support is the main thing. Your support is extremely necessary for God to cooperate with you, and then anything you get extra is just an extra. Don't depend on what people give to you. I'm speaking from my experience. In case you go through that lonely period of your life, it's bad, but it's possible and you can conquer. And don't ever give up. Don't ever think negatively. Negative thinking worsens situations. I actually got to understand that these hormones, so many things that we've been taught, they are just manipulative schemes of making same situations to reoccur and reoccur and reoccur, when we are supposed to be taking it away by prayers and by positive thinking. We are busy following the lines of ancestors and repeating the same mistakes of the past. Better come out of there. Repeating the same mistakes of the past. You're supposed to do better, okay? The world has evolved in many ways, especially spiritually. If you don't even understand spirituality or spiritual inclinedness by now, almost everybody has preached about God, Jesus Christ coming. And Jesus Christ coming is going to be like on an ordinary day. I feel it's actually deeper than it's explained, but I will not explain everything, because even the one that is explainable, you don't understand it. So why waste energy in explaining what one cannot understand? For this one, I pray that you're able to understand this one and take it to heed and understand it and help your life in different ways. God bless you. Ciao. Subscribe.